AITA for telling my dad my therapy journal was never meant to be family reading and he should have minded his own business. I 17 meters went to therapy when I was 11. My dad sat me down before sending me and told me he was worried about me and our family. That I didn't seem to be taking him remarrying and having half-siblings well, and that he was worried I would end up isolating myself in the future and that I would hurt my half-siblings when they realized I clearly favored my full-blood siblings over them. He asked me to give therapy a go to see if I could find a way to process mom not being there and move on to fully accept my half-siblings, and maybe even to see my stepmom as something more than his wife. I told him I'd go. First therapist was a buzzed. She spent the whole session talking about religion. Dad didn't send me back. Second therapist was different. He saw that therapy wasn't something I was totally comfortable with and he set me up with a therapy diary. He told me to call it my therapy notebook, my therapy scrapbook, or whatever made it feel the most comfortable for me. But he told me I could write stuff I could not express out loud. He also told me I could write stuff to bring up in future sessions. Early sessions I wrote a lot about missing my mom and the family we should have and how things would never be the same. After a while I also wrote down how I felt like my half-siblings could never mean as much to me as my full siblings because my full siblings and I shared our parents. And there was this more natural bond. I wrote how I did not think I would ever love my half-siblings, but I still thought they were part of my family and I hoped they would have good lives. There were some notes in it about how something happened and I missed mom. And I wished my dad's wife and half-siblings could go so we could get mom back. That was maybe written 3 or 4 times. There was also a page where I talked about how I wanted a tattoo of the family I wanted us to be and how that wouldn't include my dad's wife or my half-siblings. I did 3 years of therapy and then ended it and threw the diary out. But dad fished it out and decided to keep it. Then he read it. Then showed his wife. They left it where the kids found it and then read it as well. Now everything has gone crazy. My dad ended up confronting me and we argued because he told me I had written some very unfair things. I told him therapy can't always change how you feel, just how you act. He said he didn't send me to therapy to act the part. I told him he was getting off the point and he should never have read the diary, shared it around, etc. He said that he was my father and he had a right to read it. I told him that diary was none of his business and never should have been family reading. He told me that's a poor point to make when I wrote that my half-siblings were unlovable for simply having the wrong mother. We're not talking now, but he made it clear I was wrong.